I know how ready you are.
Do you? I'm sure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed, where three gamers talk about everything about gaming and have fun together. I am George, the co-host of Quest Unplayed, and this quest is joined by Anthony
Hi, everyone.
and Zach.
Zach,
Yes,
aka
Zach,
Bob.
aka Bob.
Check it
And
out.
we have another guest, Justin.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi, everyone.
yes. You might not. You
Hello.
might not see. Yeah. You might not see his face, but like.
I like it.
He's still with us, so don't worry. It's not a technical issue or anything we're having. But yeah, so there's this
Give me
choice.
one moment. I'm going to get my jacket. 'cause I'm kind of
Yes.
One second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's a
Yes.
ninja dev.
And also, if you're listening to this through Spotify, you won't even notice. Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
true.
Okay. A little bit of a
I don't even know what to say about
promotion of our Spotify channel as well. Okay, so this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub and a gaming companion. Sync your game accounts, make your game collection, connect with other gamers in our community, and basically do anything and everything about gaming on Minimap. So let's watch that sponsored video that we all love. All right. So, what did you think about our sponsor videos, Justin? Did you like the music?
Yeah, I thought the music was cool.
Yes.
And yes.
We have. It's like our kind of like a tradition, like warm up music for
Kinda
three of us.
relaxing music.
Yes, I actually want to go to Hawaii. We have to go to Hawaii sometime together, Zach and Anthony.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me a couple lotteries first.
I mean, we might be meeting up pretty soon at Zach's house. I don't know. Anthony might make it, might not make it, but me and Zach are meeting up, plus Anthony.
That's true.
So that's gonna be a fun
You guys live
ride.
near each other?
What was that again, Justin?
Do you guys live near each other or?
Oh, very, very
Oh,
far
no.
from each other.
I'm right down the street from George.
Yep. There's Zach. Hi, Zach. I'm just yeah, but I live in Korea. Anthony lives in New York, and Zach lives in Texas.
All right.
And Justin lives in. Do you mind me asking where you live right now?
Yes, I live in Tokyo, Japan.
So actually,
Oh, very
Justin
nice.
and I are the closest.
Now I'm jealous.
I am jealous now.
Yeah, I gotta go make a visit.
Tokyo is a place I
Now
want.
I'll go to Japan with
Yes,
you guys.
I will
I'll
go to Japan.
with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Hawaii.
So Japan it is then. You guys are coming down to Japan. I'll meet you guys at Japan. In Japan.
You said Hawaii got super quiet. You're like Japan. We're like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Can't go on with Japan.
We can.
No, all the museums, and we might be able to catch a couple.
We have
devs
to.
down
We
there.
have to
Come
go
on
to the
now.
Nintendo Museum.
Especially the retro game stores that they have over there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But all right. Anyways, Justin, could you tell us a little bit about? No, it's fine. Justin, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Myself, yeah. So my name is Justin Matsuzawa. I'm a Japanese developer, except I was raised in the U.S., but I live in Japan now. And I mostly made the game by myself, Starlight Legacy, except I had publisher help during the last few months of development, and also I had some help with text review. But aside from that, all the programming, music, and code was all done by me. I guess I should talk about the game itself. But anyways, as you can see, George is the trailer right now, and it's an RPG, and the premise of the RPG, like, it's supposed to feel like a classic RPG, but with a twist that the map, or like the kingdom that the game takes place in, is divided into 4 different provinces, and each one contains a relic that you can collect, but you can do it in any order. And so I think that's what's different from other RPGs, is that you usually have like a set order to do things. Like the crystals in Final Fantasy, like it has to be a certain order, or like the gym badges in Pokemon, they're usually a set order. Maybe sometimes there's some flexibility, but yeah. Anyways, in Starlight Legacy, the 4 relics can be collected in any order, and the enemies will adjust in difficulty, and then it will eventually culminate in a final dungeon. Well, there's also a couple optional dungeons, but yeah, final dungeon and a fight against the big bad. And basically, I just wanted to create a simple but fun experience, reminiscent of the old days.
Awesome.
Mm.
It actually does
Alright.
remind me of a lot of the old RPG or JRPG games that I used to
Just
play.
killed a
in,
bunch of my questions.
Yeah, but awesome. But we can ask again. All right. So,
We could.
okay, before we actually start asking more questions to Justin, let's go ahead. What was it? Is that...
No, honestly, it was
Wait,
Yeah.
quick
Pretty
question:
cool.
This is still rehearsal?
No, this is an actual.
No,
Oh no,
Okay,
we're
we're
live.
live.
Well, we're not
we're
live.
recording. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that. All right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Justin is a little bit tired, but I really appreciate you coming
Hang in there,
to
Doug.
the podcast. I honestly do.
All right, I appreciate you guys inviting me.
When they get older, it gets easier. I
when
promise.
your kid gets older, at least you get to have some quality hours of sleep.
It's just- yeah, instead of scream at you about not being cool and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm
you're not cool, Dad.
Like, shut the door right now, Dad. I don't want you to be in my room. Gosh, I'm just kidding.
How dare
But
you?
anyways, before we
Sorry, I don't want to scare you.
but before we ask Justin more questions about Starlight Legacy and his studio, let's take a quick gamer type quiz, where we take the quiz and see what kind of gamer you are. Justin, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so it is finally the weekend after a long, tiring week. You ask a friend to play together, or you need to spend quality time alone.
Oh, yeah, I need to spend quality game time alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
The new game that just released isn't my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. It's not my cup of tea, so I refuse at first, but it would be fun to play with your friend, or you listen to your friend's words and play together right away.
I think I would listen to my friend's words and play together right away. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that's too much. Or it has good information, so getting ranked up after 3 days is no problem.
I think I would choose the first one. Yeah.
First one, that's too much.
Self-intro-
Yeah, there are a lot of other communities as well. So, before buying a game, you carefully read over other people's reviews, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you just buy it.
Definitely carefully read over reviews, watch the trailer, check the price.
What's the
Especially-
most? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, continue.
Oh yeah. What's the most recent game you bought?
Most recent game I bought. Let me think. Thanks. I haven't bought a game in a while. Oh, Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Oh, okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out recently actually. I heard good things about that.
It's great.
Next question. If someone is watching me playing a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show my amazing gameplay, or I'm actually good at it, but due to the pressure, I am missing skill shots.
Definitely, I'm actually good at it, but due to the pressure, I'm missing skill shots.
Okay, same here. Next, you are playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on missing something, you go over the tutorials, or if the game looks similar to the one you've played before, you skip the tutorial.
You know, I used to be like a go over the tutorials guy, but now I feel like when I play games, I just want to like play, not read a bunch of text right away. And
Right.
I'm starting to get annoyed how like you start playing and then suddenly a pop-up message appears. You know, it's like a phone notification, except it's not a phone, it's a game. And so, yeah, I try to skip as much as I can. I mean, I'll take a glance at it and like, yeah, okay, whatever, and I'll skip it.
Okay, cool. Next question. You're playing a mystery solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery solving games, that guy is the culprit. Or that person looks suspicious, but you need to start collecting evidence first.
Need to start collecting evidence first.
Yeah, you need a backup evidence. Next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. That is not a big difference, and my friends are waiting, so I just go. Or, please wait a moment, I have to go back.
I think my friends are waiting, so I'll just go.
Does this have a, I don't know, effect like, for Starlight Legacy, are any all the items very important?
Yeah, I think some items later in the game are important, and you'll have a much more difficult time with the end boss if you don't get those items. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, those items are optional. But if you explore, and they're not too hidden. If you explore, you can find them.
All right. During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. First, you might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in my group can get infected, so I choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
We'll find the cure, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good guy. Even if I don't express it, I feel like I keep losing because of my friend. Are they not feeling well? You lift up your friend's spirit, or you send them a link to characters' tips and tricks.
I think I'll choose the first one. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll lift up my friend's spirits and say, it's not your fault, even though it might be.
When obviously it is their fault.
Like that other guy was just a lot better than you. That's all.
Everyone's at a different skill level.
Yeah. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally my type. Considering the balance of my party, I cannot put them in my party, or I have to put my favorite character in the party no matter the cost.
Considering the balance of my party, I cannot put them in my party. Don't judge just by looks.
Okay. Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, but it does not really affect your gameplay, or you hate chaotic things. Your desktop is neatly cleaned.
It's neatly cleaned. It's just a few folders right now.
Okay.
That's on my desktop.
Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievement.
So I usually play either on Nintendo Switch or like older consoles that don't have achievements. So
Okay.
so I'm not a huge fan of achievements.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Starlight Legacy has to have achievements, right?
Yes, because it's on Steam. So yes, it has full achievement support.
4 achievements?
No, full.
Full. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Full achievement support.
Okay. How many achievements are there?
I believe there's 21. Yes,
Alright.
21 achievements.
Okay. Next,
Full disclosure, though, the publisher had to wrote me into putting in achievements.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in them at first, but if that's what most Steam and what PlayStation users expect, yeah, I understand.
Yes. They are fun.
They're fun.
Yeah, fun.
You who happens to play lots of games, you play a game you feel like playing at the moment, or you have a gaming schedule.
I would say, yeah, it's closer to having a gaming schedule. I try to focus on one game at a time until I beat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. What's the most recent game you've beaten?
I recently replayed Final Fantasy VI.
Okay. Good choice. Great. Awesome choice. Okay, so you are a quick-witted priest. I think this is the first time we've gotten a priest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually.
actually.
I was about to say,
This
that
is the first time. So, Justin, you're a priest. Let's see. You are a high-ranking noble. You don't like aggressive and competitive games. You are here to support each other. You play multiplayer, but it feels comfortable when you play single player games. You like spending quality time going through every single content and event while playing a game. Quick and perceptive. You try to mediate, when people fight and stay peaceful. You are a priest for a reason, right? You get stressed out from managing peer-to-peer relationships. And no one wants to play as a healer. I'll do it. Always yields in party plays. And you always say you're new to this game. Here, let me help you out.
I would say that's pretty accurate.
It is? Okay.
I'm not a huge multiplayer game guy. I think the last one I played was probably Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, which was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, I prefer more single player stuff. But then like if I'm playing with like a friend in real life, or sometimes me and my wife would play like Smash Bros. And Mario Kart together. Of course, I'm better.
Oh,
But
your wife.
I try
Oh,
to
yeah.
not make her feel bad.
Oh, your wife might be listening to this. Okay, so
I take that back. I'm not better. We're equal.
Okay,
Games.
Good.
Okay.
good cover up. Good cover up.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job. Yes. Anyways, you are good with trustworthy guardian, which is Anthony. Anthony is a trustworthy guardian, right?
Yeah, I am.
So, all right. So if you play games with Anthony, you guys might have a blast. And you are a bad fit with this passionate monarch. And you love beautiful exploring games. Do you like exploring games?
I guess, yeah.
All
I like
right.
RPGs. So
Awesome.
you
Yeah,
can
that is
explore
actually.
RPGs. Okay, yeah.
All right. Damn, right. That was
But
fun.
then if it's like the modern 3D open world stuff, I haven't gotten the chance to do them that much yet.
Yeah. Those might I don't know. There's just so many of them. It feels like it's impossible because, like, usually if you play an exploration game, you have to spend like at least like 100 hours into it. Meaning, there's so many of them, so that like you're going to be spending thousands of hours into games, which you obviously don't have enough time for that. Especially when you have a kid,
Yes.
right, Zach?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right.
I went many years without touching video games. Well, I'd play, but it was like I'd look around
Yeah.
first.
I think especially when they're young, you don't have enough time.
I was more scared of the wife. What are you doing?
I haven't really had much chance to
No,
play this week
nothing.
because of Starlight Legacy's release. But before that,
Uh-huh.
well, I'll say like maybe the first few months when the kid is born, yeah, it's pretty difficult. But then once you get into a more of a routine schedule, and I managed to find time every night after the kid goes to sleep, if I'm not tired.
All
so,
right. So,
it's not bad.
okay, Justin is a true gamer then. All right. That's good.
Rain or shine.
All right. So this week we're not going to be covering any game news because I don't think there's that many game news this week. I mean, except for the state of play that's going to happen tomorrow, right, Anthony?
Yeah, Stay Up Plays happens tomorrow.
Yeah, so we have no idea what's going to be coming up. But like, if you are interested in watching that, you should probably just watch it. Probably have some. I hope they announce something crazy. I always like before all these like showcases, Nintendo Direct, Xbox Showcase, all these showcases. I just like always like kind of hope like something crazy. I just want to hear something crazy, but I don't know.
That's the newsman in you.
We're
Just like,
we need that dopamine, right?
right. Yeah.
But okay, so anyways, so do you own a PlayStation, Justin?
Yes, I have a PS5. and I
Oh,
also
so
a
what's your-
PS4 that's not hooked up anymore. So, I mean, I would say I'm more of a Nintendo guy, but there's some games such as Sonic that are better on PlayStation, so I play on there. And I think that goes for a lot of third-party games. So
Right.
yeah, if it's a third-party game, I'll tend to play it on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a Nintendo game, well, yeah, play on Nintendo, of course.
Mm.
So what's your favorite PlayStation game then?
Favorite PlayStation game? Um, do third-party games on multiple platforms count?
I guess so. It's like the best game you played on your PS5.
Yeah. Then that would be Sonic Frontiers. But the thing is, like, that's not a I don't play that many games on my PS5 because let me tell you, the PS5 games I have right now are Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Superstars, Sonic X Shadow Generations, and Skyrim. And those are the only. Or I think there's a couple other games that came in there. Like there's that Astro Robot game that was there by default, and then some PS4 games. A lot of them were stuff that my wife wanted to play. But yeah, so the games that I buy is just Sonic.
Okay.
Because I haven't had time much to play. But eventually, of course, I'm trying to work my way through both Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest series. So I think once I get to Final Fantasy 16 and also the 7 remake, I'll play those on PS5 for sure.
Nice. I just have a quick question because like I haven't had a chance to talk to like a lot of like game devs in Japan or like gamers in Japan I say. So like how big is the console like gaming video game industry like a market I would say like like for example like does everyone own like at least like a PS5 or I don't know Nintendo like in their houses because in Korea it's very very little because we all
really?
play our games either in our PC or in our mobile devices and then I think I saw the statistics. I don't know if this is probably a couple of years old, but like only like 4% of the entire population owns a PlayStation or something, or one console in their house. Meaning, like I don't have any. I used to have an Xbox, but like I don't have any, like consoles in my house. I mean, we have like an office one here, but so I just want to know like how big it is. Like I know in the U.S., like everyone obviously owns like at least one or two.
Yeah.
We have a rainbow
So
of
I don't want to claim to be the Japan expert because I mostly grew up in the U.S. And also even though I live in Japan now, I don't research like household economic game consoles.
Of course not.
But just from my impressions, such as from going to friends' houses and also my in-laws' houses and stuff, and also just from when I was really little, because I also lived in Japan when I was really little. I think obviously Nintendo is probably pretty popular, and Nintendo Switch is very very popular. Actually, I think it's found in a lot of households, and then PlayStation is second most popular. I think part of it is just because both Nintendo and PlayStation are Japanese. Well, PlayStation was originally Japanese, but not now. The gaming branch is, I think, handled by Sony for America. But anyways, yeah. And then almost no one has an Xbox. And then
sorry Microsoft.
In the game stores as well. If you go to like Yodobashi Kameda or some other gaming place, basically the gaming section is always like half of it is Nintendo, the other half is PlayStation, and there's like a tiny shelf with Xbox games. That's how it is.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I think to rank it would be Nintendo and then PlayStation a close second, and then Xbox. Except I wouldn't rank Xbox as number 3. It would be like in terms of market share. It seems like it would probably be like 10 or much lower.
Yeah, I think
that's my perception of the situation. It might not be fully accurate, but that's just my experience. And then also, when I was little, I had a Game Boy Pocket, and my brother had a Game Boy Color. We didn't have a Super Nintendo, but I remember my brother's friend's house. I have this vague memory of the Super Nintendo. I remember the multicolored buttons being engraved in my memory. So that's I hope that information helps. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
Yeah, that is very helpful. I mean, like that was just like my personal question, but like I guess it's the same here in Korea. So like, I've never seen a person like, I've never been to a house where there was an Xbox. Like I've never, None of my friends but some of my friends would have like a PlayStation 5 or 4 and Nintendo Switch. Obviously, a lot of people who especially have kids who are like in middle school, high school.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was at some point in the 2000s, in the early 2000s, were Nintendo products banned or not sold in Korea?
I don't. Well,
I
that's
recall.
that's actually another kind of like area that I'm not too familiar
Oh,
with
okay.
because
Sorry about
I started studying in the States in 2003 until 2014, meaning I was away from
so
Korea for about 10 years. So like I wasn't, but like before I went to the States, I think I had a SNES. I had a Game Boy, obviously, Game Boy Color. I had all those Nintendo
so
related consoles.
in Korea, does the SNES does it use the Japan design or does it use the North American design?
I think it was Japan's design, I would say. That's a long, long time ago, so I don't particularly
Sorry, man.
remember.
Just
But like, no, but like, but like, as a person who grew up in Korea when I was young and then like in the States, I mean, I would play a lot of games on my PC, like a lot of PC games. MMORPG used to be a big thing in Korea, so like everyone just played these crazy.
Yeah, and the reason why I was asking about if they were banned or not is because I heard something about. I knew that the second generation Pokemon games, Gold and Silver, had a Korean release, but then the ones after that didn't. The Game Boy Advance ones, but then the DS games had a Korean release, so that's why I was asking. That's all.
Okay, that's awesome. I guess it's good to live in the States because you get to buy all these different consoles without it getting any bans.
It depends. I mean, you can get all that stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you can't get here that you would have to go to other countries to get because they do have, I don't know if you've heard of ports and like it took a long time for us to get Final Fantasy, opposed to how long it was out in Japan before we actually got it.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's actually pretty interesting because even now, these days, I buy games from Japan that's not available in the US.
Yeah, so they get based in Japan. That's the first thing they'd say is like, hey, back in the day, I don't know if they do anymore, but hey, get me like the PlayStation from there because that PlayStation would allow people to play Japanese games that you couldn't play in America. Like, and so they would be like, oh yeah, hook me up, man, give me that game, and you'd be like, I'll see what I can do, but I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
It's still a thing,
You know
I
what I
think.
mean? With all the
Because there's a lot of games, especially Switch games, that is only available in Japan, and you had to go to a third party to get shipped to the US, because the US won't sell it. I do it all the time.
That's just like a lot of our games are banned in like other countries for different reasons, or they're switched up.
Also, the funny thing is, the thing I like about the Switch is, so if you notice the Switch versions are always different from the US and the Japan version. They have the different stickers on it, the different Peggy stickers on it. But also it's much thinner too. But yeah, I still do it. I still order games from Japan. Especially RPG games.
I guess, but like these days it's like so easy to localize. I guess I mean, also like there are a lot of fans that just like do it for free. Like if certain game is not localized into your region, then some big fan would just like kind of like voluntarily kind of localize it and then like get a mod out or get something out.
That was the case for a lot of games, like especially for Ys and Trails games.
Yes.
When they were released in Japan, they were never in the US, and people had to find ways to localize it so people could play it. And of course, years later, the publisher actually officially localized it. So sometimes you have to wait till it gets localized. That's the only biggest issue.
Because there was a time when that was like Japanese was a whole craze, like back in the 80s and stuff like that. So having that stuff was, if you had money,
Yes.
Money and connection.
you're definitely gonna go for
Money
it,
and if you know someone.
Networking. Yeah.
right?
Okay. So
Johnny Two Legs is gonna hook me up.
so I think we're ready to go jump right into the companion waypoint. This is where we meet the dev. We've been talking with Justin for a while, but we are gonna re-meet him, and we're gonna be
Yay!
and
Again.
we're gonna be talking or watching the video or the trailer video with music because music is important, right?
I mean, I like it.
I'm ready.
Sorry, it's hard not to jam out to this.
This is gonna be my office music for today.
You'll get so much work done. Unlocked.
That could be a new ringtone.
Report done.
So, Justin,
Yes.
how long did it take you? Or you said you made the game mostly by yourself, right?
Yes, mostly by myself. Yeah.
So what do you mean by mostly? Like which part was not done by you?
The trailer was done by the publisher,
Okay.
and then the artwork, the promotional artwork that's used at the end of the trailer and also on Steam and other places. That was a commission I did, or I asked. That was a commission I asked someone to do. And then the final boss theme, that was also a commission because even though like I can make music, I wanted someone who specializes in that to do it. And then
move.
for specifically the Japanese script, I had my wife review it because she grew up in Japan. So yeah. But aside from that, and also the other language translations, like it's also playable in Chinese, German, Spanish, French.
No Korean.
We'll work on that.
Justin.
I'm sorry.
Gotta find a Korean person
I
now.
want Korean.
Oh,
In fact,
geez, oh, geez.
someone in the Steam discussion board brought that up. Like, please put a Korean localization. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to the publisher about that. I want to listen. But yeah, the translation. Okay,
He's
so
so angry
the
right now.
translations besides English and Japanese were handled by the publisher,
Hmm.
and so aside from that, everything was done by me. So that's the programming, music, pixel art. That's all me.
That's amazing.
And I know that might sound. Well, I mean, yeah, there's other devs, solo man devs, or solo project devs doing that. But when I've been doing pixel art since I was like in elementary school, because I really liked Pokemon and I wanted to see how Pokemon sprites were made, and so that's when I got into pixel art. And then when I was in elementary school, I was also in band and choir. I played clarinet and saxophone, and I also sang in choir, and so that's my musical background. I also know a bit of piano. And then I also took programming classes in college, and so that's how I guess that's how my background enabled me to make a game by myself, mostly by
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
Of course, unfortunately, I'm not that good at drawing, so I had to ask someone else to do that.
Okay.
And so,
Hmm.
there's that.
So, how long did it take you to put everything together and release it?
So the game's been in development for almost 3 years. I began in around either April or May 2022.
Okay.
And I was approached by the publisher East Asia Soft in, I think, June of last year, June
Mhm.
2024. And
Mhm.
so for 2 years of development, it was just completely me. And then I would work on it either early in the morning or late at night while holding a day job. But then after the publisher approached me to publish the game for both PC and consoles, I we managed to reach a deal where I get to work on the game full time. So yes, I did what I went against common game dev advice of don't quit your day job until after you become successful. But I quit my day job. But I might have to go back to my day job soon, but we'll see about that. But either way, don't worry about me. I have some savings, so financially I'm fine for now.
That's
So
good
yeah,
to
to
hear.
answer your question, almost 3 years, but it's not quite May yet, so it's not quite 3 years yet. So
Okay.
2.7 years.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So I know Zach played the demo. So what do you think about the game?
I like the fact that I had to use the keyboard for everything.
Did you have a controller, or did it not work?
No, I had a controller. I just
Oh.
didn't use it. I actually used my keyboard when I started it
Okay.
out, and so I was like, I had to do the down and up keys and stuff, which it didn't bother me. And a Z to
So
confirm
it
things.
is. I'm sorry if the default
know?
keyboard layout is not typical. It is
No, it's not bad.
for this type of
It's
stuff.
just a
Is
weird feeling.
WASD the more common way, or is the arrow keys the more common way to move around?
I mean, WASD, but I played games where it's the
Okay.
arrow keys. So was it like, because of course it's an RPG, right? So like if you're getting
Yeah.
in fights and stuff, really you're selecting your abilities.
Well, you can also remap the default controls in the settings if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can play with a controller. It's up to you. So there's that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I just downloaded it and started playing it, and then I was like, I looked over and I started like, because it was like, okay, arrow keys and Z, and I was running around talking to everybody, and I was just getting loads of nostalgia
Nice.
popping at me. I was like, okay, I remember these days. So, and I kind of got that for when you were talking a lot about like old school type, like Mario and Sonic and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
That's
was there a set of games that was like specifically what kind of made you want to do this type of RPG? Like, I don't know if you said that or not
yeah,
yet.
definitely both Final Fantasy and also Pokemon. I really
Okay.
I really like those games. The
Oh,
earlier
those are
ones.
dope. Oh yeah. Did you ever play I think it was, I don't know if it was the first one. Did you ever play the one that came out in America first on Nintendo?
Which series? Final Fantasy or Pokemon?
I think it was a very very first Final Fantasy, where the characters was like ninja
So
and wizard.
then I actually didn't grow up playing Final Fantasy. I didn't play my first Final Fantasy game until I was in high school, and that was like the GBA Game Boy Advance remake of Final Fantasy 1 and 2. So unfortunately, I didn't play the original version.
Well, yeah, let's say you played
Yes.
one then.
I mean, I as
the
an
one with
adult,
the-
I went back and played the original versions. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, okay.
the original Japanese versions. But I didn't do that growing up. I played that after I moved back to Japan. So
I so many hours into Final Fantasy, but the thing that used to always crack me up when I look back is now games like your characters have names, right, and stuff. and theirs was just like ninja, warrior. It's just that's all you had. You had nothing special about them. You know, like, would you like to give nunchucks to warrior? I'm like, I'm not going to give it to my wizard. He's not going to use them. Like, who am I? But no, it was pretty cool. So that's that you kind of have that
Yeah.
nostalgia for them
I
old
mean,
school
even
games.
though
You know what I mean?
I didn't play Final Fantasy as a kid, I played more like as a teenager. I still like those games enough to the point, and also we'll put it this way. Originally, like I pretty much only played Pokemon, but then I read about like what Pokemon was influenced by, such as Dragon Quest and other RPGs. And you know, when you play Pokemon, you don't, or at least when you're a kid, you don't think about what genre it is. But then as you become older and figure out how to use Wikipedia, you're like, oh, this genre is called RPG, and what other games are RPGs? And oh, there's Final Fantasy, you know. And so that's how I got into those games as well.
When you're younger, you just want to catch them all.
Exactly.
Yes.
Be the
Doesn't
best.
even matter.
Be the best that you can be.
Doesn't matter.
Right?
What genre it is or.
Would you ever consider trying to make a? Have you ever played any other games like Pokemon? That I know that's not, you know, kind of the game you made, but would you ever consider making a game like that, but in your own like version?
Yeah, I've had ideas. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
I don't know if I'll go through with it. Ideally, I'd like to just do work on a Pokemon game in an official capacity rather than like make a monster collection game. But I don't know if that day will come. So. And then aside from that, I briefly had this idea like, what if I make Starlight Legacy monsters? But like, I'm not going to go through that. Sorry, that is not a game announcement. That's just something that briefly popped into.
He's like, no, don't
it's
think
not coming. But
well, you know, your dragon you used in the 3D traveling scenes and stuff like that looked a little close to some dragons I've seen in Pokemon before.
Well, I'm not surprised because you know, when I started learning about pixel art, when I started making pixel art, it was by practicing editing Pokemon sprites and whatnot. Speaking of which, I'll say disclaimer: in Starlight Legacy, all the graphics are 100% made from scratch. Nothing is made from something else. What I'm talking about here is what I'm talking about here is when I was studying. Or not when I started pixel art when I was like a kid, I would like look at Pokemon sprites and recolor them, make changes, that sort of thing.
Man, you might. Wow, pixel art is an art.
Wow.
You could take a lot to get good at. So.
I heard because back in the days you would have to kind of like make every single dot from. So it's like a very very manual task. I know, like I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing like now. Like you don't have to like point every single dot or anything. But I heard
late 70s, early 80s.
It's all squares.
Paper, and then they would enter the graphics as byte code as like 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. I don't know when that changed though. I can't imagine them doing that with Super Nintendo games. That sounds like a nightmare.
I would have loved to seen some Mario art before, like on graphic paper before it got
like behind the scenes.
Does that even exist somewhere?
I bet it does, because I'm pretty sure I've seen it in some interview, like some video interview on the web somewhere.
Yeah, I think I saw the same thing.
Or something like that.
Remember, his head would be this way, and he'd have that red hat with like the little bump. And
I think even in the original Super Mario Bros. By 1985. I know in the US it was 1985. I forgot the Japanese release date, but I think by then they were still doing it by graph paper.
Wow.
So I'll bet like it's in a Nintendo museum. If you go to Nintendo museum, they'll probably have it there, like to show everything.
Well, we're going, George. You already said we're going.
We
You can't
have to
take it back
go.
now.
Like we have to go this year or next
I
year.
don't know. Good luck with that.
Anthony's coming, I know for sure. Anthony's buying that ticket.
I might not come back. You know.
Yeah, actually, if I go to Japan, it'd be a one-way ticket.
Get a job at Nintendo.
Where's Dad at? I'm in Japan, honey. Come.
Yes, I work for Nintendo now. Like,
I mean, imagine that.
What
Just
do you
imagine
do?
that.
I'm
If you were
janitor.
saying that you work for Nintendo, and then you'd be like the greatest dad of all time.
oh yeah. You
Give-
probably get a
give-
lot of discounts for like. I mean, don't they have a Nintendo amusement park or theme park or something there too? Like Disney Land or Disney World. They got like Nintendo World.
Yeah, they should have it. We have one in the US also.
So that's gonna be so like we're all gonna be meeting Justin there too.
I hope you guys have fun. Maybe if you guys come around Tokyo, we can meet up and hang out if my schedule allows. Because when you have young kids, you can't like go outside whenever you want. Yeah.
I mean, you have to bring your son. You have to
Bring him along.
Yeah, bring him along. We got two dads here, so we can take care of him.
Hey, what is it? I was about to say, is that your first kid?
Yes, first kid.
Yeah. After that one, you're not gonna worry about dropping it. They'll bounce. Don't worry. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll bring my daughter.
First one you're always scared about, but the third one you're like, yeah, you can have it. I don't. Brass tacks. How long do you think it would take someone to did you make a lengthy game? Is it a long game?
Oh, my Starlight Legacy.
Yes.
Yeah, because it
Yes,
seems like you put a lot of story into it. I'm guessing.
So it's about 10 hours, but to be honest, when I was making it, I thought it would be much longer because by the time I finished working on the game, and I had the save file, my own save file that I used to develop the game with, by the time I finished coding the final boss, it was at like 23 hours. I'm like, yeah, I made a really decent game. But then when I played through it again and I beat it in 10 hours, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. and then from the
That's not bad,
reviews so far, there's like 10 hours, and there's one streamer who beat it in 7 hours, and so, yikes. Next time, if I get to make a sequel, it'll be hopefully be much longer. I promise. I don't think
promise you one
they went to every optional area. They didn't run from enemies. I think they were just familiar with RPGs, and they
that happened.
knew where to go.
They just went ham, huh?
Yep.
That's still a really good amount of time, though.
Well, I thank you.
7 to 10 hours.
I think,
Especially
Yeah.
back in the days, if you think about it. You imagine you playing the game back in the days. 10 hours is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like,
Because you like honestly, when I was a kid and you played retro games, I don't think I ever sat down and played a retro game just like for a whole day. Like I switched off. Like I would play Mario, and then after playing Mario, actually that's true. Mario 3 we grinded really hard, but like Tetris, you jump off and do some Mario, Dr. Mario, and you just move around. Like you would do a whole bunch of different games. You know what I mean? Ghosts and Goblins until you got stuck, then you move on. And
I think
I mean, my dad told me about
what
the
I did
games.
was I would play one game for a few days. I mean, not a few days straight, but like with breaks, of course. But like I'll play it and until I got tired of it, and I'll switch to a different game. Like I remember going back and forth between like Super Mario Sunshine and Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube.
That's a good way to
Nice.
go at it.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
So besides the music you had somebody make it, it's kind of like a homemade video game then from you with the
Yeah.
pixels and the story
Yes.
and everything.
Yes.
Oh, that means a lot.
Solo dev. solo.
that's amazing. You know, like you have to think about all the things all the elements that are implemented into this game. You know, it's not just like you just have to develop a game like with just coding. You just have to write. Do drawing, music, narrative, characters. You need the story behind the character, like for each character as well. Like from something as simple as naming the characters too. Like it's just not something. You can't just like call them Bob or George or
All my
Anthony.
characters get called Bob.
all of a sudden. So I think that probably took a lot of effort. Did you? I know, like you are a big fan of like the RPG games, but like, were you like always like had a dream to make an RPG game like since you were a kid? Like, was it your choice or?
Not always. Uh, I used to be a ROM hacker, and it was not anymore. But when I was like in high school, I wanted to work for Game Freak, the company that makes the Pokemon game.
Pokemon, yep, Pokemon, yep.
I remember those guys.
Yeah.
But then I would also like I never fully finished the ROM hack on my own, but I would spend hours like ROM hacking and also like fan gaming. I also dabbled in Sonic fan gaming because like even though like I say I mostly play RPGs, I'm also a huge Sonic fan as well. So yeah, and Mario. So I play platformers as well. But yeah, at some point, I think when I was around in college, I realized I don't want to spend my free time making fan games that like I can't sell and make money off of. I'd rather make my own game that's my own original intellectual property, so that I can, uh, I don't know, maybe someday make a living off of it. Even though I know that's not realistic, but also it's I think it's perhaps a more productive use of your time to make something original rather than take someone else's work and make what like a glorified fan fiction of it. Not to discredit. Oh, God. You should edit that part out because now the ROM hacking community is going to get mad at me.
No, but no, that's not.
Understandable. Like you kind of your own vision and stuff like that, and you want to make your own thing and see if you could make some money.
That's not. I mean,
but the
Nothing wrong with that.
The point isn't to make money off of it. The point is to do what you like doing, and and so obviously from like I said, from what my ROM hacking and fan gaming past days, like I like making stuff, and so with game dev, I can continue making stuff, and I like doing it.
But here's the thing: make enough money from it, you can dig more time into it.
Yeah, that's true, and that would be great if that's.
So I always try to tell people,
and like going after. I mean, not just like the money, but like having your own stuff, like your own intellectual property. Obviously, is something that a lot of people want. Obviously, if you're actually trying to create something anyways, why not just have your own thing and see like what the public's opinion is, or how public receives it. And if you can make money out of it, that's great. Like see all these indie games that had no idea that it's going to turn out to be a huge success. Like Balatro, I always talk about this, but like you never know. Like they probably loved playing poker, obviously, and then maybe they were like, oh, maybe I should start making my own, I don't know, like type of poker that I can claim it to be original that I made, and then
at one point every game, like all the famous game series, was at one point was just a single game made by a small group of people. Like
exactly,
when the first Pokemon game came out, at that point it wasn't a big series. It was just a single Game Boy game made by a few guys. And then the first Final Fantasy game was just a RPG made by a few guys. And that's how all game series
someone has to start it at some point, like
I didn't think games got big studios until they started getting, or the graphics started getting better and better, and then I think they just needed more and more people to make those big titles that everybody wanted to see.
Also, I remember I talked to Jeep a lot, but like Jeep, he never knew that Portal was going to be this big. Like they just started making something that was going to be fun, and then Valve kind of picked up on it, and then it became like one of the like must-play puzzle games of all time. And he probably didn't know that it was going to be this big in the beginning. It was just.
I think too, as a gamer, I would classify you as a gamer. I think gamers. Well, I mean, I know some, but I don't know very many gamers who haven't probably thought about making their own game at one time. It was just like, I want to make my own game. So going out and doing that takes a lot of courage. I feel like.
I gotta find this
You know what I
one
mean?
thing because I know this one game studio
Me
that
and Anthony are making
started
a game.
as a restaurant. The owner was a restaurant chef,
As a,
Okay.
and now it became a game studio. A restaurant turned into a game studio.
I was gonna say, are you talking about
something
Overcooked or
else.
something?
See.
So, like you say,
Oh, okay.
game studio starts with somewhere, even if in the attic of your parents' house, in the back truck, backyard. It starts somewhere small.
You never know.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see a game studio out the
Yeah.
back of a van
Like an
or
RV?
something. We're just making games, baby.
There is that
Yeah,
solo
I think on
developer.
Twitter, there's a indie dev who lives on a boat.
Oh yeah, I know. I know her.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
yeah, so
So-
I think it was the right choice. I think for Justin, especially when you have the passion and you have enough skill to do it. Why not just try it? You know,
Thank you.
So this beautiful RPG came out to the world, and we get to kind of like enjoy it.
What is
Thank you, I
your
appreciate
dream job? If I had to
Yeah,
ask,
I'm-
if you had a choice.
Oh, go ahead.
What would be my dream job?
Yeah, because like you say, you're
Making
starting right
games.
now.
Making games
Yeah.
full time. Yeah. With
Do you have a
finance.
specific
With,
place?
sorry. Can you say that again?
Do you have like a specific place like Nintendo, working for Nintendo, working for Square Enix?
Oh,
working
no. Working for myself. Being
Ah,
financially
okay.
independent, working for myself full time. I do not want to work for a company. Now,
Okay.
I don't mind working, like collaborating with a company. Like
Yeah.
if a company asks me to do pixel art for an upcoming project, I might be down. But to become a employee, a full time employee, and to have to like get on the pack train, in Japan they call it main densha, like to get on those awful pack trains, which I believe they should make those illegal. To get on the pack trains with a bunch of normal people,
People, yes.
and then to go into work and then get yelled at if you make a mistake. Like, no, I don't want to deal with that stuff. I never want to work for a company yet.
I 100%. Yeah, you're speaking to the choir. Promise you that. That's super
To come
awesome.
back
So,
at like 8 at night.
Um,
So yep, I want to work for myself forever, but I might have to work for a company soon, depending on how much Starlight Legacy makes.
So whoever is
That's true.
yes, and whoever is listening to this better go grab it. Go at least
support his dreams.
support his dreams.
Okay.
Disclaimer, though, not all companies are bad. Some companies are good. Some are in between.
Yeah,
And so,
and some
Oh,
are
I'm
bad.
sure. It's just
yeah, some are
one
bad.
thing that I've gotten that's made me more of an indie fan, because I was a huge indie fan before we started this podcast, is I don't think we've talked to one indie team that they just weren't really grounded, and they made games out of love. And so like most of their games that they like legit, they're like, we made a game because we like it and we wanted to share it with the world. And that to me like you could definitely feel it when you're playing the game.
That's actually exactly my mindset, I guess. I made something that I want to play and that within a genre I love. But I also wanted other people to play it, and I wanted other people to feel joy from it. I guess the one downside is that it's hard to market what some people might think as a generic RPG on the surface. So if I get to make more games, I'll try and make it less generic.
So you learn from your past.
Yes.
Yes, that's also why I love indie game, or especially indie devs too, because they always try to learn from their previous, if they have previous mistakes or something they've done before, and then they learn from it and try to get better for the next project if they ever make another one.
Aside from that, like despite my game not being that popular, the reviews have all been good. I would say really good.
Yeah, I was just looking at your
really
reviews
pleased
actually.
or I'm really I don't want to say the word touched. I feel like that's too cheesy, but yeah, I am touched by the reviews that they all seem to like my game. So,
So
And it says on here, one of them said it was Stream Deck.
On the
yeah.
Steam Deck?
Steam Deck.
Is
Yep.
it? So
Uh-oh.
is it? It must be right. It must be Steam Deck ability.
Compatible. Yep.
Yeah,
Capable?
the
Compatible?
publisher has confirmed that it works on Steam Deck now. Unfortunately, I don't have a Steam Deck, so I can't test on it. But I did make sure to include a native Linux build, which would run on Steam Deck. And I also there's multiple aspect ratio settings. There's it supports 1610, which the Steam Deck also uses. And based off the pictures that the publisher has sent me of it running on Steam Deck, looks like it defaults to the correct aspect ratio correctly. So I'm glad for that. So it should work on Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I guess I'll test it on the Steam
Yes,
Deck.
Anthony's gonna go test it out. Anthony's got a Steam Deck.
He's like, I got you.
Anthony's got 5 Steam Decks.
It looks
by
like
the way.
he. I'm saying it looks like. Anthony, where's my Steam Deck? Come on,
one.
guys.
I'm just kidding.
I'll take the one that's not even cool. I'll take
Speaking
the
of Steam
regular
Deck,
one. You
is
can
this
have the ones that's
game
probably
also
like.
coming to console as well, like for Nintendo Switch?
Yes, it's coming to consoles, and I'm working with the publisher. Not right at the moment, but
That's dope.
during this time to make sure it runs on consoles. And
I think it'd be a perfect.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't provide a release date yet. I don't know the release period, but it should come out sometime in this year in 2025. So
Okay.
Okay.
if you want to play it on
So
Switch or PlayStation 4 or 5 or Xbox, just be patient.
Or the Switch 2.
Switch 2, yes, please.
Yes, it
also,
it
too,
might.
it looks like you released it here on February 5th, 2025. Is there? Did you, looking back, is there anything that like plays in your mind that it was either a pro or a con that you feel like you would build off of when you make your next?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of things I would do differently, but that doesn't mean I regret doing anything because I think
No.
it's a learning experience, and so I'm glad I was able to learn this stuff because knowledge is power, and now I have this new knowledge, and so
Yes.
I know what I need to do differently for my next game.
Okay, that's a great
Yeah,
mindset.
I just hope I get to make my next game. Even if I have to become a company guy again, a company man, I'll still find time for game dev. But I really hope that the first game is successful enough that I can continue working on games full time.
I mean, if a indie developer came up to you, would you ever be opposed to working with a game or?
I would.
All your stuff, and we want to.
No, I wouldn't be opposed at all. I think, of course, it depends on the project, what type of game, other conditions. But if it's, if it's a project that interests me,
How much they're paying?
I'd be down.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
I always wonder, like, when you have all the solo devs out there in the world, and they're trying to do all this stuff. If they ever like, let's make games together because their games are kind of close together and they vibe well, or they had their what is it called? You get that they have every once in a while. We've heard so much their weekend jams.
Oh, give me game jam.
You mean game
Their
jams?
jam sessions or whatever. Yeah,
game
there you
jams.
go. I don't know why I said weekend.
We can have a
Maybe it's
weekend
on
jam.
weekend, maybe. It's like
You sit there. You don't
It's
go
over.
home. It's like on camp.
Yeah.
you don't go home. One shower, smelling all funky. Like, let's make this game. Yeah. The only reason I ask is just because, yeah, it just popped in my brain when we were talking to you that would be a cool thing. Yeah, I think collabing with another person,
So,
especially.
yeah. All right. So, do you have any future plans for Starlight Legacy, Justin, or is it kind of like still on hold and trying to figure out what to do next after?
Well, for for the Starlight Legacy, the game that just came out, only future plans is it's gonna come out to consoles sometime later this year, and there's no plans for DLC or anything at this time. There might be more updates if like bugs are found. But aside from that, I'm ready to move on to my next project, which I already have ideas for. I know exactly what I want to do with it. And
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very prepared. That's good. That's a good thing.
yes,
That is a very good thing.
He's got something in the. He's got all the ingredients. He's just waiting to cook them up.
Do you have anything to add to the listeners of this podcast before we kind of go?
yes. So if you watched the trailer earlier for Starlight Legacy and you enjoyed it, please consider buying the game on Steam or GOG, and also, or actually, it's available on Steam and GOG, and it's also available on iPhone. But the iPhone version is self-published by me, which is why there's not much advertisements for it. And then if you buy it on Steam, please consider leaving a review, because we really appreciate the feedback, and also helps with Steam's inner algorithms. And then also, if you don't want to buy the game, but if it seems kind of interesting where you're not sure, try the demo out. I just updated the demo earlier this morning to include the extra polish in the full version of the game, so that they have feature parity. And I also just added support for importing save data from the demo version into the full version if you end up buying the game. So and whether you play the demo or full version, I hope you have a good time.
Nice.
And thank you for trying it out.
That's super.
Yeah.
For
so,
fun.
Do you guys have anything like last words to say to Justin, or questions before we end the podcast? Because
I would say thank you for coming on. It was super awesome hearing you. And also, I would definitely keep doing stuff, because I can tell you're passionate. And
Thank you.
I really dig product. So
all right,
don't get discouraged.
I want to say thank you, George, Anthony, and Zach for hosting me here, and thank you for your kind comments towards me and my game. And I enjoyed this little hour.
We're definitely meeting in Japan, by the way, Justin. That's already booked. Sorry.
I look forward to it.
You can't get out of that this loop anymore.
Okay.
Once friends forever. Sorry.
I have attachment.
Yeah, me too. I kind of do too.
Well,
once I like somebody, it's really hard for me to let go.
I'd be.
And this is how the party system works.
But
recruit player. Add to party.
Okay, party of 4 coming to Japan. Nintendo Museum, here we go. But anyways, thank you for coming, Justin.
Yeah.
And we all wish you the best of luck. And also, whenever you are ready to announce your next project, or if you ever want to just come back, because it's easy to come back because we live in the same time zone. That's actually really, really good. But anyways,
my next project won't be announced for quite a while. I'm gonna do some marketing stuff differently this time. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I thought to say with a big bang rather than a small bang, because how Starlight Legacy 1 was announced, it was just me posting screenshots on Twitter. Like, look, I made a town. Look, I added the start menu. Look, I added 1 tile to this map. But for my next game, I won't talk about it until a decent amount is complete, and hopefully I can review it with an awesome trailer. That's the plan.
And also,
for a few years at the minimum.
I was about to say too. I mean, we might be able to help with that.
Yes.
Definitely keep that in mind.
Yes, I'll probably chat with you about how I can help too.
Okay.
George's got all the
keep in
deets.
touch.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you everyone for coming to this episode. Another quest has been completed. Or played, I would say. Okay. Yes. Thank you for listening. If you are listening, we are also on Spotify, so make sure to follow us there. Please subscribe and like us if you like this content. And if you are actually an indie dev who actually wants to come talk with us, just shoot me a DM or a message on Discord. Yes, thank you for coming. Goodbye, everyone. Stay warm.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye,
Justin,
Justin.
don't go.
Bye.
Don't go, Justin. Even though I never saw your face, I think you're amazing.
Thank you. Maybe next time I'll show my face.
Yes,
I'll
sounds
think
like
about
it.
it.
Not on camera. Just not
No, we can't.
on camera. Okay.
Maybe I'll